Welcome back to In Pursuit 360. Today, we're going to be talking about quarantine. All right, here we go. So, yes, I am now in quarantine. I was in work on Monday and we had a medical emergency and I was the first one on scene, so I go running up to help him out and I'm semi close to him. I'm not really thinking about anything. The guy's actually wearing a protective mask, PPE, but he had fallen on some steps and was unconscious. So we ended up calling the rescue squad. They came out. And anyway, one thing led to another. Guy goes to the hospital. We end up getting a phone call that he tested positive for COVID-19. So I was right there with him. He had a couple of coughing fits, even though he was wearing his PPE mask. Somebody actually came up and removed it, saying, "Oh, make it easier for him to breathe." Yeah, gee, thanks. Appreciate that. If they're wearing a mask, I mean, unless you have to do CPR, leave the mask on them. Anyway, so here I am. Yes, this is day 2 of my quarantine. So I've got 12 more to go once today's done. And if you can tell from the sunlight out the blinds there, not quite done with day 2 yet. Actually took the first 2 nights and went and got a hotel. Came by the house. My wife had packed up some clothes and some basic food items and things like that, so that I could go stay in a hotel for a couple of days. And that way she had time to get my place set up here in the house. My wife has some heart flutter issues and my son has an immunity issue. So absolutely this is not something that they need to get. Not anything anybody needs to get, but they're definitely in that higher risk, as well as I am. I'm 51, a little overweight, a few extra pounds from, those cruiser pounds. And also have asthma. So I have some of those underlying conditions as well. So now I'm in my house. My wife did a wonderful job. She went out and a friend of ours actually bought us a brand new mini fridge to put up here in the master bedroom. And I've got a mini fridge and a microwave, a shelving unit that's got all kinds of food stuff on it, water. I've got Sunny D, some Diet Cokes, and anyway, how about I'll just kind of give you a quick little tour. So right behind me is my dresser, and just to give a little bit of history, I guess I got my old Police Unity Tour shirt up here. When I rode with the Stafford Sheriff's Office, my 9/11 statue up there kind of helping to hold it up, as well as my other my 9/11 photo back there. Yep, so I was on the street with Stafford when 9/11 happened, and we had our own little response, even though we didn't do anything immediate. So over here, as you can see, my wife set up this wonderful shelving unit, and it's got all kinds of food items on there and some paper plates and chips and all the stuff good for you to help with the cruiser pounds. So yeah, she set that up for me, and then you come over here and you see I got my little mini fridge and my microwave set up in there. And then this is the cool part, at least for me. I used to build models when I was a kid, and I always wanted to get back into it, but I never did. So I had an airplane, a P-61, that I'd bought probably, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago. Cracked the plastic on it, kind of glued a couple pieces together, and just never got back to it because it really takes time to build a good model. So that was sitting in the garage. So my wife set up a table and then went out to a store today, bought me a second airplane model for me to build, and the paints and the snips and the glue and all that stuff that goes with it. And so back over here, there's my table sitting there, and I'm new with this selfie stick thing, so please be patient with me. And I'm going to come in here a little bit, and you can see I got a P-61 and I got a F4U Corsair sitting here that I can start building, along with all the paints and all the tools and stuff like that I need. But the real reason I wanted to make this video today, and I should be putting out quite a few videos, being as I don't have anywhere else to go. So it's really all about letting y'all know that I'm in quarantine. Hopefully everything's going to go well. Haven't had any symptoms, but it's only been a couple days. And Yeah, thought we'd just talk about that a little bit. So this is a real deal. There's definitely stuff going on out there, and there's a sickness, and hopefully, depending on what you believe that the media is telling us, how much of the death is really related to the virus, and then how much is being reported as death because of the virus for money purposes. Because apparently, if it's a corona related death, then they're getting extra federal money or something. I don't know. Anyway, so it's at least real to me right now because I'm stuck here in my master bedroom with my bathroom and my wife and my son on the other end of the hallway in their rooms. My wife's in a guest room right now. And that's how it's going to be for 2 full weeks until we get this thing done. Also waiting to find out if I'm actually going to get paid while I'm home. I haven't gotten a definite answer on that. I would certainly hope so. Those of you familiar with bloodborne pathogens, if you're exposed, let's say you get a needle prick and you know that somebody is sick, they either have HIV or AIDS or hepatitis, and you're exposed, not only are you paid to be off, but they also pay for testing. I have not been tested yet. I'm hoping to get a couple of tests out of the company, hoping they're going to go ahead and pay for that. That way I can find out even sooner if I've picked up the virus or not. It'd be nice to have a definite answer. So we'll see how that goes. So think about it. First responders that are out there and essential personnel, the doctors and the nurses and the rescue squad, yes, they're going out to this stuff, answering these calls, these medical calls, and they definitely have a high risk of exposure. But don't forget about everybody else that's considered essential. Law enforcement, any call they go to, they run the risk of exposure. Security officers that are considered essential. I work in a federal building that's still in operation. Most of the people are working from home, but there are some essential positions where they have to go in the building. Those buildings and those people still have to be protected. So, yeah, I'm on the private side now. I'm a security officer now, but I have to be there. Those people have to be there to protect those buildings. And we run the risk of exposure from those essential personnel that are coming in. We don't know where they've been. We don't know where the security officers go in their time off. They could be exposed. So just remember everybody. It's not just the people at the hospitals. It's not just the people out there wearing uniforms. UPS, FedEx, and Amazon drivers, they're out there constantly. Matter of fact, the gentleman that ended up testing positive just so happens to have a full-time job with one of those carriers and has another job. He works 2 full-time jobs, and just so happened that he had the virus. He tested positive. And now there are probably 5 or 6 of us from my job that are affected by this. So we're all in quarantine right now, sitting at home, with our fingers crossed, hoping for the best. So I hope that you keep all these people in your thoughts and prayers. Be careful when you're out in public. Remember, if you're wearing just one of the regular generic masks, one of the ones you can make from home out of cloth, or even some of the cheap little surgical looking ones that you might see the dentist wearing sometimes, those help you from giving the virus, and they give very minimal protection from you getting it. Unless you're wearing an N95 mask, an actual rated N95 mask, the masks that you're wearing, or if you have enough layers of the other ones, you're getting minimal protection. So they'll keep you from giving the virus to somebody, but not from getting it. So keep that in mind if you're wearing a mask. Don't get that false sense of security. Okay? So that's about all I have for today. I will be coming out with some other videos, being as I'm in quarantine now. I have plenty of time. I'll work on my quality, but I'm still on my phone and my new selfie stick. And we'll get some of that stuff out there. So hit the subscribe button, see what I got coming out next. Smash the like button. Leave some comments down below. I got plenty of time to work on content. Leave me some messages on what kind of content you want to see. I'll get it out to you. Meanwhile, be safe out there.